Okay, this is a 10 players who I think are underrated, that still play as far as I know anyway. But the first one is X Giant. A lot of people are going to probably disagree, but I feel like he's underrated because he's lost to a lot of people that he shouldn't have. He's beaten quite a bit of good people and people who aren't good. He's beat a lot of people in general. But he just lost to people he really should not have lost to. He's kind of like me, where I've lost to a few people I really should not have lost to, and that's kind of his situation. But he's really good other than that. Um, these aren't in order, but 2 on my list, 7. He's really good on Nuketown. He's really good on Studio too. He doesn't really play a lot of people for posts, so he's not really, he doesn't really get himself out there. He doesn't show what he can actually do. I've seen him play people, on Nuketown and stuff. He can trap. He's not terrible, so he's pretty good. But there's 7. Number 3 on my list is TapSee. A lot of people think that TapSee was just someone who hung out with Celtoast and was a Celtoast fanboy, blah blah blah, whatever. But he's really not that bad. He's got pretty good ground game. He doesn't play Nuketown very much, but I mean he can probably hit you in a 10 or 15 piece if he needed to. Other than that, he's pretty good. He's weird on standoff. His play style is pretty weird, but you get used to it eventually. I've played with him for a little while now, so you get used to it eventually. But that's TapSee. Number 4 on my list is Alexius, or Hira, or fucking whatever other gamer tags he's had. What other gamer tags people know him by? But this kid, he's all traps, but over the years he's gotten ground game. So, and I give him props for that. He's beaten a lot of good people, and not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people realize it. That's why I think he's underrated. But I remember when he first came back. I think the second time he came back, I believe, when he played X Giant. It was a good game. He was hitting really good traps. For just coming back, he was still hitting good pieces. He's not a bad player by no means. Number 5 on my list is Cuffle. This kind of goes back to the whole 7 thing. Cuffle's a really good spawn trapper. He plays Nuketown pretty good. His ground game could be better, but if he really wanted to, he could play somebody on Nuketown and easily beat him just with his traps. He don't play very many people. He doesn't get himself out there. Kind of like 7. He doesn't really get himself out there. He doesn't really play people. But yeah, that's Cuffle. Number 6 is Berto. Berto is a PlayStation player. His Xbox gamer tag is Dwelling. He's really good. I've heard he's really good on PlayStation. He's good on Xbox as well. He's got a nice shot. He's not hard scoping. It's nice. It's a nice black scope. But that's Berto. Number 7 is Gazzy. A lot of people probably know who Gazzy is, but a lot of people probably don't really know how he plays or whatever. However you want to say that. Yes, he's from the UK, so it's kind of hard to play on his connection, but I've seen him beat people off of his host and on other people's hosts. Like, I've seen him beat people with neutral host. I've seen him beat people with them hosting. So he's not a bad player by no means. Sometimes he can play really defensive, but I guess you just got to get used to people playing like that. A lot of people do. You can call camping, call it whatever. Doesn't really matter. But that's Gazzy. Number 8 on my list is Snowy. Snowy talks a lot of shit, runs his mouth a lot to people, but he's not a bad player. His ground game's pretty good. When his shot's on, he has a nice little pop shot. So he's not a bad player by no means, but he does talk a lot of shit. That's probably why people talk down to him. But Other than that, he's not bad at all. Now, these last two, Telepathy and Noxy, people are going to be like, oh, why are these people on your list? For underrated players, anyway. For BO2. Well, here's why. Telepathy. Yes, he's beaten a lot of good people, and yes, he plays like a fucking weirdo. He's like a wizard when it comes to playing. But the reason why I say he's underrated is because, in my opinion, the kid's top 10 all time for BO2. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people disagree, which people have their opinions, you know. In my opinion, that he is top 10 all time. He's not number 10, he's not number 1. I would put him maybe number 6 or 7. But he's really good. When he played back in the day, this kid was a fucking wizard. Even when he came back, started playing on a 14, got really good at comp. He still somehow had a nice-ass shot for 1v1ing and Nuketown. A lot of people, when they play comp, they lose their spawn traps, which I don't understand. But yeah, he's really fucking good. He always has been. He's got beat a lot by good people, though. He hasn't really got beat by any shitty people, so, I mean, he's been posted by actual relevant people, so, I mean, and same with him, he's posted relevant people, so, I mean, he's good. All in all, he's really good. Now, number 10, Noxy. A lot of people are gonna be fucking tripping dicks about this one, too, but, Noxy's really good. There's only about 2 people that put him on an all-time list outside of me. I'm pretty sure Websy puts him on the top 10 list. I put him on the top 10 list. And I'm pretty sure that Relxa put him on a top 10 list at one point. But, in my opinion, this kid's a fucking wizard as well. People are like, oh, this kid has a fucking radar line, blah, blah, blah. I mean, who cares? I mean, yeah, it helps you line up your wall bangs, but I mean, don't be bitching about it when you can do the exact same thing, you know. So, I just don't. I never understood that, but I just had to get that off my chest. But back to him. This kid is a fucking wizard. He beat a lot of people when he played. He still plays now after he came back for the Pro League and shit for BO2. He still plays. He's beaten a few good people too. He beat Scrubsy. I think he beat Roke. Maybe he might have beat Relxa recently, but I don't remember. But yeah, he's really good. Still really good. Obviously, when he came back, he had to get his shot back, but he did, and that's awesome. But yeah, that's my top 10 underrated players for BO2 currently, anyway. Yeah.